안녕하세요, Korea. I'm Michael, the head of partnerships and IR at the ASEAN organization. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the greetings, but I'm really excited that we are having this collaboration within AYO and Funk. One of the reasons why I joined this organization is that because I love meeting new people, make new relations. For the first time I applied for YouTube content creator and scriptwriter, and then I got promoted in 2020. And last year I got really excited, not only because I was promoted, but because the BOD announced that we will have a new chapter, AYO South Korea. And the reason why I was really excited because as I was a child, I watched a lot of K-dramas with my grandma, and I mean K-dramas has a lot of things in it, a lot of emotions, conflicts, hates, love, intrigues, all of emotions blend in together to make the Korean dramas. And I really love the fact that the Korean drama industry is rising in the last 3 or 5 years, in the last decade, I think. And also the K-pops, Super Junior and Girls' Generation was a hype in 2014, and then this year they have Blackpink, Kill This Love, Ice Cream, Kumbaya, and also Twice, BTS, and all of other boy bands or girl bands. I really love them. I love the musics, and they make their own music, like it's their own identity, and I think that's what makes it so popular and so successful right now. And out of this interest, I really love that we Korea and ASEAN make a collaboration and partner. I think we will make such great partners. I've never been to Korea, and I think I really want to be in Korea in the next I want to visit Korea in the next 4 or 5 years. Hopefully I can do that. To be honest, I don't know, I don't have any specific words to close this video, so I'm just gonna say go Asia. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe to close this video, I would like to say a couple of things about us Asians. There have been some couple of Asian racism in the past year because of the coronavirus. The Asian Americans and also the Asian Europeans in Europe, sometimes we get discriminated, and I just want to spread out the word about this, and I just want to say we can get through this together. So
hello everyone, my name is Arianne. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Manila, Philippines, and I'm the Deputy Head of Non-Government Organizations and Community Partnerships. I'm currently working under the Partnerships and International Relations Division of the ASEAN Youth Organization, or AYO for short. I became a member of AYO in September of 2020, and my job entails that I make connections with various nonprofit organizations and youth communities, both within and beyond the ASEAN region. I'm in charge of going through partnership offers and to see which ones our organization can work on or decline. In relation to South Korea, I've actually been to Seoul twice already. My first time was in 2017, and my second time was in 2019. Both instances, I decided to go with my friends because at that time we watched a lot of Korean dramas and we listened to a lot of K-pop. So we really wanted to experience for ourselves how Korea was really like, and if it was really as interesting as it seemed through the media that we had access to. And personally, I enjoyed it very much. I think Korean culture, at least what I've witnessed so far in Seoul, is very appealing, especially to young people who want to have fun and be entertained. I think that the city caters to all kinds of people from different walks of life, and being able to explore Seoul, it felt like one big adventure that never got boring. From the food, to the sights, to the fashion, and even the people themselves, I would say it was a unique experience that I would love to go through over and over again. So from that experience, I think ASEAN can learn a lot from the way South Korea has promoted itself and is promoting itself. As we can see, South Korean culture is made popular through their entertainment industry, so they're able to reach a greater international audience. I think that ASEAN countries can adopt this strategy to similarly promote the diverse cultures we have across the region. I feel that the international community can be more aware of Southeast Asian culture if we are able to promote ourselves in the most accessible way possible. Given this, I hope that there will be more opportunities for ASEAN and Korea to come together in solidarity so that we may be able to learn from each other and to form stronger relations. I think that it would be equally beneficial to have a long-lasting friendship in terms of sharing culture, information, and other such resources. Someday, I'm looking forward to this happening on a greater scale.
Hello friends, my name is Carissa. I'm 20 years old from Indonesia and I am responsible as an officer for Partnerships and International Relations Division in AYO. So me and my teammates are responsible for all things involving external parties, not just in Southeast Asia but also from all over the world. And I became a member of AYO because I thought that by joining this organization, I can have the opportunity to build connections and get to know other youth from Southeast Asia. And I've been to Korea. I've been to Korea once, to Seoul. And unfortunately, I went to the more touristic places, so I think that there are lots of things about Korea that I have yet to discover. And I do love K-dramas, especially the ones set in the Joseon period, because I really love the costume, the buildings, and also the storylines. I find them really fascinating. And also I really like K-pop, especially Big Bang. I really love G-Dragon and I like them since I was 11, so I really grew up with their music and with K-pop in general. And I think about promoting Korea and Asian, I think, Asian countries and Asian itself can learn a lot from Korea about the way Korea promotes itself in the world. Like, I think not just Asia, but I think people from all over the world know a thing or two about Korea, because now I think Korean movies are very popular, and now also the series and music, and I think also Korean technology is very advanced in the world, and I think Asian can learn a lot from Korea. And at the same time, I think in the future we should all learn from each other, especially that we have maybe cultural similarities, since we are like both Korea and Asian are both in Asia. And then I am celebrating the eternal friendship of Korea and Asian. I really wish for a bright future for both of us. I wish for a prosper future in both regions. And I really hope that in the future we can have more opportunities to exchange our cultures, to exchange our technologies, and to maybe help each other with other resources. And yeah, thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Citra. I'm from Indonesia. I'm currently living in Depok City. It's near the capital city, Jakarta. In ASEAN Youth Organization, I'm the head of Marketing Communications Division. So basically what I'm doing here is helping the AYO, especially the contents and the events, get a lot of exposure from the social media platforms that we are currently using. And the first moment when I became part of this organization is when they were looking for 2 persons for fulfilling the position as graphic designers. And at that time, I saw their recruitment poster in one of the social media I used, and I found that it was very interesting and challenging. Why? Because I have never been in an organization like internationally before, and I found that it will be interesting and also challenging, and because I have high interest in graphic designing, so I applied, and luckily and fortunately I was accepted, and I'm happy to be here, if I can say. And about Korea, to be honest, I have never been to Korea before, but Korea is on one of the list, my travel wish list, if I can say, because I have like personal connection with this country, and it was started when I was in junior high school. At that time, I watched one of the Korean dramas, Boys Before Flower, and I was instantly falling in love with this country, with the boys actually. But nowadays, I think it's not only about the dramas, the boys, the boy bands or girl bands, but it's more about like the culture, and I find that Korean culture is beautiful for me. And that's one of the reasons why I think it is very important to promote the relationship between Korea and ASEAN countries, because regardless of we have some differences, but I think we also have some similarities, and it's unique to explore more about that. And I found that nowadays Korea becomes more friendly, if I can say, with us as the Muslim travelers. So I think it's also one of the impact about having the relationship between Korea and ASEAN countries, because some of the ASEAN countries are having a lot of Muslims. So to fulfilling their needs, I think Korea provides with some like halal restaurants, halal food, and so on, and that's the good news, and also the reason that makes me happy, and I don't have to be worried if someday I will visit Korea. So hopefully, I hope that the relationship between Korea and ASEAN countries are getting stronger and long-lasting, so we can explore more about one another and understand more about the people, the culture, the traditions, and try the foods. That's all. Thank you and bye.
안녕하세요 여러분. Pilipino waknon Alzorago 해요. Hello everyone, I am Erjo and I am from the Philippines. Currently, I live in Tokyo, Japan, and I work as a high school teacher, and I am also the head for Community and Culture for the ASEAN Youth Organization Japan Chapter, and I joined AYO because I believe in the spirit of volunteerism, and I believe in the power of youth to make a difference. So I actually have a really deep relationship with Korea. because before coming to Japan, I lived there for 3.5 years because I was a Korean government scholarship program grantee, better known as the KGSP program. And I was there for my master's degree in international relations at Sogang University, Graduate School of International Studies. So I believe that the relationship between ASEAN and Korea is a very special thing. And over the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of great efforts done to improve that relationship, such as the new Southern policy. And I think at the heart of it all, besides economic and security engagements, it's the people-to-people engagements that matter. And I think that if we continue that, then we'll see a bright future for the whole region. If I could quote a song that I learned when I was in Korea, 우리 함께 만들어봐요 아름다운 세상. So let's create a beautiful world together. 같이 fighting 합시다.
Hello everyone, my name is Thomas Kevin. I am from Indonesia and currently live in Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm a treasurer of ASEAN Youth Organization, so I'm the one who create budget plan for the organization. But sometimes I also involve in some project as a project technical support. I joined the organization since last year ago. I joined AYO because I'm interested to learn from AYO friends with many different cultures. Also because I want to spend my free time to do something important and useful for community. Talking about Korea, I've never been to Korea before. But to be honest, I'm a Korean culture fan, especially to Korean songs and food. And I wish I could come to Korea in the future to see all of them in real. ASEAN and Korea have been friends since a long time ago. It's very important for young people from both sides to learn and understand each other because it will help to tightening the cooperation in the future. In this change, I wish Korean and ASEAN cooperation and friendship will be long-lasting in all aspects, including economically, socially, and many other aspects. Bye-bye.
여러분 안녕하십니까? 제 이름은 기요미라고 합니다. 이름이 좀 이상하죠? 저 압니다. 그럼 지금부터 영어로 말하겠습니다. Hi, I'm Kiyomi. I'm Japanese. I recently became a member of ASEAN Youth Organization. In specific, I belong to the Youth Empowerment team. As I always wanted to interact with youth and young people from diverse backgrounds within the ASEAN community, I applied for this position and luckily I've got accepted. Talking about my personal experience with Korea, I have been to Korea twice with my family and also have worked in Seoul for 6 months in 2019. My mother used to be a high school teacher and she was teaching world history. So one day out of blue, as she prepared her class, she taught me what happened between Korea and Japan in our history. So eventually we decided to make a trip to Seoul to learn more about our history and culture. Maybe it was on the first day we visited 서대문 혐오소 and also some other museums. So maybe that was my first trigger to think how Japan and Korea can stay in peace by having dialogues. But of course, frankly speaking, I love Korean food and I love people there. I have some friends in Seoul, and they are so accommodative and so sweet in their hearts. So for our future, we must accelerate and strengthen our strong friendship for our bright future among ASEAN and other related Asian communities. And I hope to have more opportunities to galvanize our communities to overcome our shared struggles and obstacles in this pandemic. I would also like to celebrate our Korea and ASEAN's partnership. Making this partnership sustainable, we will have more interactions through cultural exchanges and youth programs. Lastly, dear Korean friends, stay strong and stay creative. 감사합니다.
Hi everyone, my name's Maisie. I am originally from Vietnam but currently studying in London. I am a member of the ASEAN Youth Organization and have been since last year when I reached out to the HQ as I was looking for some international experience as well as looking to join one of the biggest communities of young Southeast Asian people that I knew of. I'm now currently head of the editorial board and also the leading representative for UK ASEAN partnerships. Korea has always been a really interesting country for me, and I would love to travel to Seoul as soon as all of the travel restrictions have lifted, of course. I've always been interested in its culture, its cuisine, and I see it as becoming a really important country in today's globalizing world. I think it's extremely important to maintain a strong relationship with Korea as a close neighbor, and I believe we have a lot to learn from each other, which we can do through cultural exchanges and an open dialogue within the two regions. As for any young Koreans or ASEANers watching, I'd just like to say stay strong during these tough and difficult times, and here's to an everlasting friendship between us all.
Hello, my name is Nick, and I'm a second year student at Lake University and also the head of finance at the ASEAN Youth Organization Japan. And the way I was able to join this community was that I received the one mail from one of our professor, and after receiving the mail I thought this is a great chance to work internationally, so I submit the application form. I know Korea because I was born in South Korea and I stayed there until grade 7. And then I moved to Japan, and even though I'm in Japan, I'm still watching lots of Korean dramas or movies and also the news articles. And I believe that this kind of communication will be a great chance for the both community, ASEAN and South Korea, to share the thoughts and also different opinions to be a leader of the international community. And I'm happy to hear that this kind of community communication or relationship is working really well. And I believe this relationship should be continued further as well. Finally, I want to make a really short message to the listeners of the ASEAN and also Koreans. As we all know that all of us are suffering from the coronavirus, but I want to share one quote, which is, "United we stand, divided we fall," which means that when we work together, we will survive, but when we divided, we will die. And it is a time, I believe, where we, ASEAN and Koreans, should work together to solve this complicated problem. Thank you for listening. 감사합니다.
Hey everyone, this is Niny from AYO Laos. I'm the country director of AYO Laos. I first joined AYO since 2020 in November. I was not ready yet when I was applying for the position, but I tried my best and here I am. So I've never been to Korea, but I would really, really love to. I actually applied for an exchange in Korea, but it was past the deadline. I was so, I regretted that I didn't apply for it. But I do know some, Korean words, just 안녕하세요, which means hello, I guess. And 사랑해, which means I love you? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I would love to learn more. And I love K-drama, as well as many ASEANers. I believe that our bond, between Korean youths and ASEAN youth should be powerful because we are so influenced by you. If you could understand me, if you are listening to this, please be proud of your culture, your language, your food. It's what we all ASEANers love. And I would love that if we can do an exchange with you guys one day, especially me. I would love to do that. And my message for me to the Korean people is never stop being cool. You guys are so cool, and we would love to follow your trend more, especially Lao people. We love your music, we love your food. There's so many Korean restaurants going on right now. There's even a K-pop and a K-food festival right now, and I would hope you guys you would have a chance to see it as well. And that's all I have. I think I would love to travel to Korea one day and learn some more Korean words. See you!
Hello! This is Scott here, turning 20 in August, and I am currently taking my Bachelor's in the Performing Arts, which explains my minute accent and messy hairstyle. In free time, I like taking ice cold showers while also eating ice creams. I enjoy making cocktails. My favorite one is old-fashioned, and also listening to audiobooks. One of my favorite audiobooks now that I'm listening to is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm listening to it quite a few times again and again so that I can get the feel of it. Okay, so what do I do as a member of the ASEAN Youth Organization? Everyone has their own respective roles, and my role is one of the most important. No. It's important, but not that important. As a member of AYO, I actually I sometimes hop on a plane, hang out with people, and drink all day and eat pad thai. Okay, no, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. I am actually the current Youth Empowerment Director of the Malaysian sector of AYO, and I actually focus on coordinating events that build up the youth of Malaysia from 12, 18 to all the way up to 35. So if you're 35 years old, you're still young, man. You're still a youth. And I help with leadership, esteem building, soft skills such as public speaking, stuff like that. Yeah. Now that's the good question. Now right here is how did I exactly start working and becoming a member of the ASEAN Youth Organization? So how I actually started was I went to the ASEAN Youth Exchange Program, and I actually could see the passion of what people were doing to make a difference. So one day we were in Jakarta, and the founder of AYO was calling up people to confirm registration for an event. Even he was packed, he was sweaty. So I told him, hey, why not? I can help. So I picked up the phone and started helping him cold calling people, confirming registration, stuff like that. It was fun, and then I started emceeing at some events, and here I am. Now the next question which I have here. I love this question. Have you ever been to Korea? Well, indeed I have. I went in the December of 2017 with a couple of friends after winning the National Photojournalism Competition. I took some pretty good pictures there, and it was in December, so it was winter. It was like the first time I ever seen snow in my entire life, and the food was fantastic, let me tell you. Some of the best experiences I've ever had, and the most scariest roller coaster that I've ever been to in my entire life. It was a wooden roller coaster in Everland. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I was screaming even after the ride was finished. Surprisingly, I didn't vomit though. That was good. I also went to the Descendants of the Sun shooting place. Very nice place near the DMZ. It's really nice. But I also lost my phone and my wallet 3 times. 3 times in a row. And I found it back. So that's pretty good, right? Okay. And I also think that Korea and ASEAN should be heavily promoted. Not just as a great holiday destination and a place to lose your phone. Okay, just joking, forget the last part. But it's also a great place to study as well. I was and still am considering about doing my master's in Korea after I finish my degree. To think about it, it should be emphasized because, heck, I think everyone should go to Korea in the winter. Now that's something, alright. Yeah. So, how do we go about it? One word: food. If you don't have the budget to fly there, you can just promote it by having Korean restaurants and cultural heritage discovery projects. Oh my god, it takes you there. Okay, the celebration message. Celebration message is close to Chinese New Year now, so everybody's wishing everyone thing. But to celebrate the eternal friendship of Korea and ASEAN, you can't really explain it in a few sentences. It will probably take some time. I do sincerely hope that the friendship would prosper, since I might be going there in the near future to study. Don't want there to be any conflict, right? So may there be peace in the region, and jokes aside, we can like seriously help each other out throughout the ASEAN community, and I'm pretty sure things will work out fine. I'm an optimist, so I see the good in people, and when you see the good in people, your inner positivity will just shine right through. Now, I do have a few messages for the Korean people and ASEANers. I have a few Korean friends, namely. Bring them street food over. Like seriously, Malaysian street food, I mean, not to sound bad for Malaysia, but you can't compare it. It's so different eating like really hot barbecue in like negative 15 degrees Celsius in December. That is exciting. And like those like 20 centimeter ice creams, lobster rolls, and also this is a little bit weird, but toilets. I love those toilets. If you could like make them cheaper and import it over, that would be sweet, man. So that's it for me. I'm Scott Lam.
여러분 안녕하십니까? 저는 곽태삼라고 합니다. 일본 이름은 오야마 코우타입니다. 도쿄에서 태어난 제일 한국인 4세입니다. So I currently work for an organization in the developmental sector in Southeast Asia, and I really wanted to connect with other young people to talk and discuss and share potential visions for the future of our region. And that's how I became involved with the ASEAN Youth Organization. And I'm currently working in project operations in AYO, Japan. In terms of ties to Korea, when I was working in an NGO in a small village in a country in Southeast Asia, I was surprised by the number of Korean flags I saw besides the roads, on buildings, on signs. And of course, these were indications of how far-reaching the effects of KOICA project and Korean-funded projects were, and how they touched the even most remote communities in the mountains of this country. I was also thinking a lot how another big player when it comes to developmental aid in the ASEAN region is Japan and JICA. And here in Southeast Asia, far away from Japan and Korea themselves, was this genuine space, as I saw, for cooperation between these two countries. Now, I am fully aware how complicated the relationship between Japan and Korea is and how challenging it can be. But by envisioning a common future with our partners in ASEAN, that is where I see a potential for collaboration for the benefit of Korea, for the benefit of Japan, and ultimately for the benefit of ASEAN. I know this is a vision that's going to take a lot of time, dedication, and effort, but to be this bridge among Korea and Japan and ASEAN, that is my personal dream, and I'm looking forward to be able to talk with other people, especially young people, who might share this vision.